Okay, so since Jessica stole my entire video for herself last time with the evil powers of her mind or something, this is another video in which I talk about things that other people ask me to talk about Jessica. Jessica and I are permanently in some kind of a war trying to... I don't know, I'm not actually sure how you win. I just know how you lose because I keep losing. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. I'm sure other people want me to talk about things that aren't shapeshifters and how much I hate them. Shapeshifters, if you're a shapeshifter, don't be other people's friends and family and loved ones. It's just wrong. Anyway, moving on from... Anyway, let me see. Why don't you love me? You are slow and old. Okay, that's better. Nicole suggests I talk about my favorite demons, which, it does not make me sound like a stable or normal human being, but considering that the last time I went to a bar, which, it was totally innocent. I just wanted to buy a six-pack of Sam Adams, because I was really craving beer for some reason. And I went into the bar and I ended up spending the next 2 hours talking to this really nice middle-aged trucker about classic rock and UFOs and Bigfoot conventions. And then I started expounding on some of my theories about fairies, and at least one other person at the bar was just like, who are those people and what is wrong with them? And I tried to describe the contents of the medieval bestiary I was reading that week, because medieval bestiaries are really hilarious. Like, I don't even know, like, where they get the information that they get, but they're like, these are small birds that spontaneously are created from, oh, what was it? I can't remember. And like, bears and wolves and I think foxes are born as like these completely oozy puddles of matter, and then their mothers like lick them into animal shapes, and it's just weird stuff. And then there are these animals that like don't make any sense, and it's like it has the ears of a goat and the head of a walrus and like the tail of a beaver and the legs of fish. Fish don't have legs. And it can't breathe underwater, but it can fly, and it has this name, and we don't really know what it's for, but it's out there somewhere. You know, good luck. Have fun with that information, guys. I don't know, medieval bestiaries, man. Anyway, I was telling somebody about this in a bar, and there was at least one woman at the table who kept looking over. I was like, who are these people? Who let them in here? I'm just like, man, I don't even know. I don't know either. I don't know why anyone lets me in anything. Anyway, yeah, so as creepy as it sounds, I do have favorite demons. Like, in the Testament of Solomon, which is an ancient medieval grimoire, or allegedly an ancient medieval grimoire, the Testament, or what is it? The Key of Solomon is weird because sometimes it'll talk about New Testament stuff, or like medieval stuff, and it'll be like, and then Solomon said to Jesus, it's like, guys, this is like that fanfiction where the Marauders have iPods, and you are completely destroying any credibility you have by having Solomon talk about things that happened, you know, thousands of years after his death, like, it's no big thing. But the Key of Solomon has this list of demons that do horrible things. I mean, like, you know, that's kind of the point of demons. But, like, there are patron demons of, like, random ailments. Like, there's a demon whose entire job it is to make you choke on fish bones. And in order to, and I guess if you're choking on a fish bone, like, I don't know if there's a really easy way to tell if you're just choking on a fish bone or if if it's, like, how do you tell if you're just normally choking on a fishbone or if this particular demon is making you choke on a fishbone? I don't know, like, is there a sign or something? Do your eyes turn black? Can you, like, smell sulfur and you're like, oh man, this is not a normal fishbone choking? Anyway, if this particular demon is making a friend or loved one choke on a fishbone, all you have to do is grab the person who's choking on the fishbone and put another fishbone in between their breasts. Like, it's no big thing. I don't know. Anyway, there are also demons who are in charge of, like, mucus. There's also Dagon, the Baker of Hell. Like, I googled this. I was going to say research because it sounded really exciting and, like, scholarly, but I just googled it, and I found several references to him and verified to be in multiple medieval texts. Like, there's not a whole lot of information on him, but there is a Dagon, Baker of Hell. I guess he just makes pastries for hell? I don't know, like, hell has a bakery? Like, is it a really good bakery or a really bad bakery? Who's he baking for? Is he baking for, like, the other demons? Is he, like, baking people? Or is he baking for the prisoners of hell and, like, baking them cupcakes that look really delicious but then taste like bile? Like, I don't know. There's no information on this. I'm really upset about this. Like, I feel like this is something I should know about. Like, I mean, the medieval theologians spent large amounts of time and energy discussing whether or not demons produced semen and if they could actually impregnate people. Like, they debated this at length. And they're like, well, no, it's frozen, and so it doesn't work. Or, they don't have any at all. Or, well, if you do this and this and this, then it will become unfrozen. Just like, guys, shouldn't you be, like, feeding the hungry or something? Dude, what is wrong with you? Like, go do something useful with your time. Come on. This is like a precedent to the whole, as Christians, we should protest the Da Vinci Code. Like anyone's ever taken John Brown. I mean, Dan Brown, seriously. John Brown. Anyway. So yeah, and then there's, like, obviously there is, oh, what's his name? The one who's in charge of distempering bathwater, and then there's one, see, I can't remember their names offhand, mostly. I mean, I can remember Decorabia, who plays with birds all the time. Like, he just sits in this little corner and they're, like, birds, and I don't know, I feel like the rest of the demons are just like, man, what are you doing over there with all those birds? You're, like, all cute and happy, and it's really messing up our groove, man. Like, we're trying to torture the damned here, and you're just like, I love birds! And little squirrels! Yay! And they're all just like, man, he's like our weird little brother. We don't really talk about him if we can help it. Anyway. But, yeah, and then there's also, what's his name, who distempers bathwater. That's, like, his job. And then there's another guy who has the head of a thief. Like, his description is, like, he has the body of a walrus, or it's not a walrus, but it's something. And the head of a thief. And, like, I don't really know how thieves, you can, like, immediately tell that it's a thief's head and not, like, a head, but I guess it's a thing. I don't know. Man, medieval demonology is just weird, okay? Like, I don't even know where to get this stuff. I just... And on the subject of medieval demonology, I'm gonna suggest that I talk about Marwick, and I don't know. So I'm writing this trilogy, and it makes me verklempt on a regular basis, and basically the amount that I'm invested in this is deeply embarrassing, and I don't know if I can talk about it, like, at all, without, like, randomly crying. Okay, well, right now, I've been stalled for a while, in my outline. I'm working on an outline of book 1, trying to make an outline so that I can be like, oh look, now I know what's gonna happen. I can write it instead of just kind of trying to figure everything out as I go. Which works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. My brain's weird. Anyway, right now I'm stalled because the Christmas holidays are really hard to plot out because there's, like, I looked it up and there's, like, it's like December 22nd through like January 6th. That's a lot of time to be at home where the main plot isn't happening. So I'm trying to fill it with things and make it like normal and natural. And also at some point possibly Lottie has to like tell her family about magic. And also there's gonna be this great scene that I'm really excited about writing. Awkward family dinners with Malifaux. I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go down, but at some point they're like being threatened by something. Like somebody figured out where Lottie was and fucking told you shouldn't went to school. School's protecting them. Anyway, there's trouble, and it's really exciting. So Mal comes in and he's like, okay, I have to come in and warn you about this, but I can't, like, you're busy, and I don't know. There are extenuating circumstances which makes it so that the only way he's able to inform her of the threat is by by basically inviting himself over for dinner. He's just like, hi, my car just broke down. Or maybe he's on his motorcycle. Oh, I crashed my motorbike into a snowdrift. Can I come and eat dinner? Can I use your phone? And then he tries to use their phone or something to like call into a truck. I don't know. I haven't written it yet. I don't know the specifics. I haven't even outlined the scene yet because I'm still stuck on this other stuff. But he comes in and is like, oh, can I use your phone? I need to use your phone. And he's acting really uncharacteristic for him because he's like actually using facial expressions and gestures, and he's like, what? Like she comes down the stairs. She's like, I thought I heard a familiar voice. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, she's like, and he's like charming her parents and being like, la la la, I need to, so he goes in to use the phone, and then voila, he made a giant snowstorm happen so that nobody can leave the house, because if people leave the house, they'll get dead, like, and so he has dinner, and meanwhile is trying to get Lottie, you know, into a hallway or something, so being like, so by the way, huge threat, bad, very bad, everything's bad, please, I'm also help, now I have to talk to people and like be friendly, and it's weird. Like he can play act for a certain amount of time and be somewhat convincingly human, and I don't know, and it'll also be really fun to explore like him being emotional or being emotional, because he's not at the moment. He doesn't really have very many emotions, but he's like play acting, being normal and funny and kind of playful, and Lottie's just like, what is going on? Why do I like it? Why do I not like it? Anyway, and also, Emma says to talk about her, and Emma is wonderful, and I love her, and I yell at her a lot about my feelings when I'm writing, because she's a really good springboard, and is one of the handful of people who are almost as invested in this nonsense as I am, which is weird to me. Like, why does anybody care about this as much as I care about it? But of course, it's her fault anyway. She made me watch Hex. It's all her fault. She warned me and I didn't listen, so I guess it's partly my fault, but she didn't warn me about this. But, yeah, Emma is going to be a librarian superhero someday, and, champion of information and studying, and I think in some ways she's always been that person. Like, I think she would be the perfect librarian because as a user of the internet and the runner of a blog, she's always maintained that kind of existence where she, like, gets people excited about things and shows them where stuff is and makes them discover stuff and encourages knowledge and learning and discovering, and it's like, hey, look, cool stuff in history, cool stuff in books and music and movies and television, and this is in Swedish and you're gonna get really obsessed with it. Maybe that was just me. But anyway, Emma, you are awesome and you rock. I should stop talking again because this is getting way too long. It's weird. Nobody wants to hear this. Anyway, I should probably say something really profound to close out, but instead I think I'll just read you a random vampire fact, because I can. Let's see. There's a Hammer or Dracula thing. Random vampire facts. Well, there's a Hungarian vampire type creature who basically was a kind of incubus succubus deal, and they would kill you by exhausting you. And defensive measures against this creature include the placing of garters on the bedroom doorknob, and also garlic. But like, you can put a garter on your doorknob, and I guess they'll stay away. I don't know. Okay. Anything else in here that's exciting? Vampires in the Pulp magazine. Seeds! Seeds might be placed in the coffin to entertain the vampire. Right. In some lore, the vampire could only count one seed a year? How does it even take you an entire year to count a seed? Like, how does that even work? Anyway. That's enough story time for you. Okay. Goodbye, Internet. It is time for me to stop talking and leave you alone. Bye.